There's a version of this year where I don't make this video, where I don't make the video, where I just quietly file away everything that went wrong and move on and pretend I learned something without ever checking if I actually did. Charlie Munger has a line, not the famous one. Reviewing your own mistakes isn't about punishment. It's the only way you are allowed to update. I didn't review mine for a long time. I just survived them and I called that growth. This video is me finally doing the thing I avoided out loud. Charlie Munger, who spent 7 decades getting comfortable with a very specific, very uncomfortable idea that people who look the most consistent from the outside are usually the ones who have made peace with how often they were wrong on the inside. Nobody built a museum for his failures, but he kept one privately on purpose. That's where this actually starts. Charlie Munger was born in 1924 in Oklahoma. Long before he became the man people quote at dinner parties, he was just a kid in a small American city who happened to grow up 2 blocks away from a grocery store owned by a family called Buffet. He became a lawyer first, not an investor, a lawyer, doing work he later admitted he did not love. In a firm he eventually left behind entirely to go build something closer to what actually interested him. That detail matters more than the people gave it credit for. The man everyone now treats as some kind of oracle spent his early adulthood in wrong career, quietly aware of it, and did something about it anyway. Here's the part that actually pulled me in. It was not his success that stopped me. It was how openly he talked about the years before it counted for anything. He lost money early. He misjudged people early. He built and lost an entire business before most people even know his name. And instead of hiding it, he treated it like data. No shame. Data. I spent most of this year doing the opposite, hiding the part of the timeline that did not go well, presenting only the after photo, never the middle. Munger apparently kept something close to a running list, not a highlight reel, a record of what he got wrong, revisited on purpose, not to relive it, but to make sure the lesson actually landed somewhere permanent. I never kept that list. I only kept the wins. I let the losses dissolve quietly in whatever this year became, unexamined, unlabeled, mostly unspoken, which means technically I did not actually learn from most of it. I just survived it and called that a surviving lesson. He did not become someone who avoided mistakes. He became someone who ran out of new ways to hide from them. Munger had a method for it, not a mood, a method. He called it inversion. Instead of asking how to succeed, he asked what would guarantee failure, and then spent his energy avoiding exactly that. It sounds almost too simple to matter most useful things too. I spent this year asking the wrong questions completely. I kept asking that what would make things work. I never once sat down and asked myself what would definitely make them fall apart, and then walked in the opposite direction on purpose. Munger built what people now call a lattice of mental models. Different discipline, different lenses, borrowed from psychology, economics, biology, physics, stacked on top of each other, so that no single mistake can fool him twice in the same way. I had one lens this whole time, just one. My own reaction over and over to the same kind of failure, dressed up differently each time so I would not notice it was the same failure. So that I'd not notice it was the same failure. He said something. He said something once that I only understood properly after everything that happened this year. It takes character to sit quietly and do nothing when nothing is the correct move. I never once sat still with my mistake. I moved immediately onto the next thing, to the next attempt. That next version of myself that would not supposedly repeat it. Which is now I understand exactly how you guarantee you will repeat. Charlie Munger, he was not a genius because he avoided being wrong. He was a genius because he ran out of patience with being wrong the same way twice. Man, I love this line. When I wrote this, okay, leave this. I don't know if I have earned the right way to say that I have changed. Not yet, maybe not for a while, but I know what I supposed to do with what happened this year. Don't hide it. Don't hide it. Do not dissolve in it. Sit with it. Name it. Let it become the data, then the shame. This is what I think he actually understood. Not that mistakes makes you interesting. Those mistakes looked at honestly are the only real teachers that never lies to you.